If you want to have 7 party members and be overpowered early, you are in the right place. Each of these members offers immense value in your lineup, so you don't want to miss any of these characters, especially since all of them can be acquired very early in the game. Like for example, Stia the Architect, who can wield an axe and a dagger. She is technically your first healer in the game, but I see her as more of a support slash axe damager, or more of a glue unit in the party. As expected for her initial skills, she can do single and multiple hitting axe damaging skills while also providing support on the side. And as mentioned, if you really don't want to use healing consumables, she can patch your team with the first aid skill. You can't really miss Tia, as she is the protagonist's childhood friend and the first one to join your party. Complete the main tutorial section of the game and she will be yours forever. Fen the Hunter is your very first hunter companion in the game and also one of the main support characters of the protagonist. Obviously, she can wield a bow but also can wield an axe, which is very surprising since hunters normally use daggers as a side weapon. What is interesting here is that he can buff himself with defense up and redirect attacks by casting provoke afterwards, giving you a possible earliest working tank in the game. Although the majority of his kit revolves around bow damage, he can also perform a single target axe damaging skill. Recruit Fen in your ranks after completing the quest Rekindling Flame in Wishvale, which is your very first side quest in the game, so you will never be lost here. Stia will ask you to investigate the Frostland region where Fen was last seen. All of the initial quests are pretty straightforward, so by just following the quest marker, you will find yourself in Snowshard Grotto. Explore and reach the end of the dungeon, and you will battle multiple beasts with Fen. After the fateful encounter, he will head back to Wishvale and find him visiting the graves in town. He will formally ask to join the party after the conversation, and you will have your first handy hunter of the team. Now things will go spicier as we will be getting your first full-blooded healer in the game, who is Macy the Apothecary. Pretty weird that she can wield axes, but expectedly she can wield tomes as well. Just like our friend Stia, she has access to first aid as her basic healing skill. But she can cast the expert version of the skill that not only heals a party member, but also moves the character to the back row. Unlike Stia, the banger here is that she can cast the rest ability to regain her HP and SP, allowing you to sustain your heals while in the front row. Her offensive skills can deal poison and paralysis status on targets, allowing her to perform in combat if heals are not needed. Recruit this awesome character by visiting the town of Emberglow, which is not far from Wishvale. You can go to Emberglow by heading to Wishvale Trail and then west Emberglow Wilds, and finally to Emberglow Wilds, where the entrance of the town can be located. Find her in the inn and an NPC will ask for her help in curing a child's sickness. Before heading to her location, visit the item shop of Emberglow and buy a piece of herb of fortification. Then head to Emberglow East District, or you can just follow the quest marker here so you won't get lost. Find Macy in one of the residential houses here and she will ask you to get the herb for the child. Since you already have it, Macy will be able to cure the child without a hassle, and you can finally recruit this awesome character after the said fateful encounter. And if you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine. Your first full-blooded warrior companion in the game is Viator. This guy has interesting skills to play with, such as an ability to redirect and parry attacks, which is very cool to see. Parry in this game can completely nullify physical attacks, so Viator can be a very effective tank if you build him around this playstyle. He can wield swords and spears, or pole arms, so his damaging skills revolve around these weapon types. You can recruit Viator by visiting the town of Valor, located south of Wishvale. You can pretty much reach the town of Valor much more easily from Emberglow. But if you want to access the town of Valor from Wishvale, you can do so by heading to Wishvale Trail, then West Emberglow Wilds, and then Valor Trail to find the entrance of the town. After arriving in town, find the nearest pub from the entrance and talk to the singing bard to get the attention of Viator. He will then notice that you do have the same crested key and be curious how you got it. After the conversation, you can finally ask him to join your ranks and have an awesome warrior in the party. You can only directly recruit Viator if you initially pick the crested key when creating your character. But just in case you haven't selected the key as your keepsake, you can pretty much get the crested key by exploring the Serpent Barrows side quest dungeon and get it as a loot. Located in the North Theotropolis Plains, you can get there from the town of Emberglow and access Emberglow Wilds. then north to Atropolis Plains to find the entrance of the dungeon. One of the badass earliest characters in the game is Kelsus the Thief. He is going to be your first thief in the game if you didn't select the thief as your starting class. This guy can also redirect attacks by provoking all enemies and dodging their attacks. Speed is the name of the game if you have him in your party. He can also lower the accuracy of multiple enemies, allowing him to dodge more often and serve as a dodger tank. He is not just there to redirect attacks for you, but can also deal serious damage when scoring critical hits. He wields daggers and swords, which is a pretty nice combination. And not to mention, you already have access to a strong sword and a dagger in the early parts of the game. So this guy will shred enemies like paper. But the greatest thing here is that you can also find him in the town of Valor, just like Viator. In the main district section of the town, there's another pub in the western part of the area. Inside the pub, approach Kelsus to start his quest. Then he will ask you a series of questions. After several tests, I think your answers here don't matter, and there will be a scene with a random NPC. And after that, you can finally recruit this cool guy and have a badass thief in your ranks. I firmly believe that Alexia is the best overall starting companion in the game. Wielding the Scholar job can pretty much says it all, as Scholars have access to strong lightning and dark damaging AoE spells very early on. No matter what happens, don't miss this character as she can blast off enemies very easily, which can give you a lot of benefits in return. Just in case you can see the value that she offers, compared to the other AoE attacks, AoE spells in this game hits like an absolute freight train, especially in the earliest parts of the game. You will be one-shotting most of the enemies most of the time, allowing you to grind XP and money much faster. Not to mention, if your protagonist picked the Scholar as an initial job, you'll be blowing up enemies with Alexia. Alexia wields Tomes and Staff, which is perfect for her kit. Aside from the dark and lightning AoE initial spells, she can inflict defense down to targets and even buff her elemental damage to absolutely nuke enemies down. She can also analyze enemy weak points, which is very useful in the entire game. Get Alexia by heading to the town of Triotropolis, so if you are going to access this town from Wishvale, you can do so by heading to Wishvale Trail and then accessing the North Triotropolis Plains. And finally, head to Triotropolis Plains where you can find the entrance of the town. And from here, access the town's library and talk to Alexia, who is checking the bookshelves on the left. And treat her special book and she will be interested in joining your ranks and exploring the world with you. And just like that, you will have a very powerful asset in your ranks. You do have 7 characters in total if you follow this guide. A couple of tips here to make a strong party formation. And the first tip here is to make sure to not pair healers together, since if they will take their turn already and you need to heal multiple members, you can only heal once. Like for example, Macy and Stia for this instance, which have different placements in this composition. If your 2 healers are paired to different members in the party, you can heal twice in a row. And this will save you a lot in hard fights, especially in boss fights. A lot of enemies in this game love to deal strong AoE damage, so it may be taxing for just one healer in the party. Another tip is weakness exploit stacking, and you can do this by making sure that your weapon types are spread across your formation. And for this instance, the enemy is weak to an axe weapon type, and you don't want to pair Macy and Stia once again, since both of these characters have access to the axe weapon type. So like for example, if Fen, Macy, and Stia can have their own turns, you will be triple dipping into an enemy that is weak to access. While there are a lot of avenues to improve your party combinations or builds, I will surely cover this soon. Your town plays a huge role in your overall progress, since you can get a lot of benefits by just placing NPCs that have special passives. Passives that can give you materials over time or even give you good XP and JP multipliers from your companions. Not just NPCs, but companions provide special town passives as well. Like for example, Fen here can lower down the cost of restoring your reputation in pubs, or Alexia can increase your JP gains after fights, while Viator increases your overall XP gain. Although the required buildings are not being shown in this recording, all 6 party members will surely give you a huge gain by just taking advantage of their own passive skill. But what if you want to know the best beginner tips to have the perfect start possible? This video will teach you everything you need to know, so click on it and I will catch you on the next one.